With us now, Democratic Massachusetts Congressman Lori Trahan, Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar of Texas, Democratic Virginia Congressman Subramanyam. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you very much for being here. Ladies first.
Thanks for having me.
Is Tommy right that this is a huge warning bell for Democrats?
Look, I don't think there's a single Democrat who is taking anything for granted as we head into the midterms. What we're focused on is what we're hearing back home from the people we represent, and they're frustrated that Washington and this administration isn't focused on the things that are keeping them up at night.
So then why do Republicans, on things keeping them up at night, rising prices and inflation, why do Republicans still have a 6-point advantage?
Look, this notion that people are feeling, good about this golden age in America is ridiculous.
Okay.
Across the country, people are staying awake at night because they're worried to open up their utility bill, going to the checkout for the grocery store, everyday items. They can't access their health care. So, that is what Washington needs to be focused on. That's what this administration, we talk about Greenland, Venezuela, Cuba,
Either of you guys
Canada.
want to help her out, though, on why Republicans still lead on 6 points on inflation?
She's doing very well.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lauren.
Hey, look, and as you
With friends like these, who needs enemies?
There's like different polls depending on which ones you look at. There are a number of polls that they look at and that we look at, and I will tell you, the president, between last year and this year, his numbers are underwater, and it's because he's not focused.
There's no question Donald Trump's numbers are underwater. There's only one group who is more unfavorable looked upon by the American people than Donald Trump. Do you know who that is?
I know what you're going to say.
Democrats in Congress. 18% of voters approve of the way Democrats in Congress are handling their jobs. 73% disapprove. Quinnipiac last month.
Yeah, I think there's division in the party as to what to be doing.
So you think it's
next,
a lot of actually Democrats who disapprove of it?
Yeah, it has to be. It's not 73% Republicans in this country right now. A lot of Democrats want to see us be more aggressive. A lot of independents want to see us talk more about rising costs. I think we've been doing a good job of that lately, especially when we talked a lot about healthcare at the end of last year. We're going to be focusing a lot more on rising costs and even corruption this year. So I think, moving forward, we have a really good message. I've never seen our caucus more united than it is right now. So I think you're going to start to see some of these numbers change. And I know I'm in Virginia. We have special elections every week right now. We had an election last November. We love democracy.
Well, let me talk to you about Virginia, because Abigail Spanberger, who was your all's colleague in the House, and I know a number of you are friends with her, she ran as supposedly the centrist future of the Democratic Party in Virginia, won in Virginia. These are the first moves of the Democratic House in Virginia, and now for Abigail Spanberger to sign as governor. Raise taxes substantially, including on every single Amazon, UPS, or FedEx delivery. Redistrict all the House districts in favor of Democrats. Advance amendments on abortion rights, same-sex marriage, and voting rights for felons. New DEI laws. Push to eliminate mandatory minimums for some violent crimes. Ban on gas-powered leaf blowers. And rename Columbus Bay Indigenous Peoples Day. Is that what
I think that's a little bit of cherry picking there.
That's a little cherry picking on the executive orders.
These are bills, because I served in the General Assembly, though.
Those
are just bills introduced.
Those are not.
Right?
Those are not executive orders. Those are bills that were introduced. The first executive order was to end cooperation with ICE.
Yeah, but I served in the General Assembly. There, thousands of bills are introduced by the far left, far right. No, we should see what actually passes and what she actually signs into law. Yeah. What she's prioritized is lowering housing costs, which are a big issue there. She also talked about grocery costs. She also talked about energy costs. She's talking about rising costs and hyper-focused on that. So I don't think you can take the most liberal, most conservative, bills introduced and say that's her agenda.
And Leland, you cannot deny every election that's happened since the president was inaugurated a year ago, Democrats have won. And they've won because they've talked about the concerns that people are feeling back home around affordability and the fact that life is too expensive. The fact that the administration hasn't taken that as a cue of what to focus their efforts on is, it's not just a betrayal to the American people, but it also sets them up to be in a really poor position come the midterms.
Well, to that point, President's coming back from Davos tomorrow. On Tuesday, he's traveling to Iowa. Vice President will be on the road in Ohio on Thursday. Susie Wiles tells the White House press pool that Trump will travel Tuesday to Iowa for an economic and energy-focused speech. She added that the president will make weekly travel ahead of the midterm elections, and cabinet officials will also increase their domestic travel. Congressman Cuellar, I think you have by far the most competitive district coming coming up in the next election. Would Donald Trump visiting your district be good for you or good for your Republican challenger?
I think it would be good for me because if you look at it, he did win South Texas, no doubt. But if you look at the rest of the Democrats, the sheriffs, the county commissioners, everybody else, all Democrats won. And there's two things that are turning what I call, buyer's remorse for people that voted for him is the overreach of ICE, number one, and the high cost of things. So people are looking at this, and I think this is something that, we're not taking anything for granted. We will win. But I do want to give a caution.
When you say we, you mean Democrats?
Yeah,
okay.
Democrats.
So you think you'll take the majority?
Yeah, we will take the majority. But I'll give this caution note. I've seen when Democrats won in 2006, 4 years. When we won in 2018, 4 years. And I remember I was just beginning. I think it was a second term, and I said, hey, we got to be careful that we don't overreach. I believe in incremental changes. Okay. And if you overreach, we'll lose the majority, and I want to stay there for a while as Democrat.
Oh, okay. So to that point, Trump still leads plus 28 on border security, and you say the overreach of ICE is a problem. You're going to separate these two?
Oh, yeah. Look, if you want to stop the open borders that we had, absolutely we want to do that. And it started.
You used to talk about it.
I used to talk about all that. So? But if you want to deport criminals, we're with you. But when you start going after people that have been here for many years, don't have a criminal record, yeah, it does. It hurts the economy.
All right, so now there is the question of whether you make this about affordability or you make it about Donald Trump. You were the only one who sort of seemed to go there. You said we need to start talking more about corruption. I think that is sort of code for, hey, we want to go after Donald Trump.
He's not the only
would it be smart of Democrats? Well, here, I'll ask it this way. Will any of you make a pledge that right now you would not vote for impeachment for Donald Trump in the next Congress?
I'll make that pledge. I'm not going to vote. We already tried it. It didn't work. You're not going to get the votes in the Senate. And all it does, it just energizes the Republican voters that come out. And yeah, I'm not going to vote to impeach the president.
What do you think? Would you make that?
If he commits crimes, I mean, I'm going to try. Yeah, if he deserves to be impeached, he should be impeached. It's not about just the politics of it.
Show me the man, I'll find you the crime. That's what Democrats are saying.
No, look, the president is already operating with the shield of immunity that the Supreme Court has given him. And so I think for us, people want to hear what Democrats are going to do differently. And one, we do need to be a check and balance on this administration.
So would it be smart for Democrats to make that pledge, as the congressman just said?
People aren't asking us to take that pledge. People want us to be, stewards of their taxpayer dollars, of ICE that has gone completely rogue. I mean, look, what Henry said is exactly right. The people who voted for the president to secure our border, they are not down with what's happening in the streets of our country. And that is just a bridge too far. We have no oversight of those activities. The aggressive recruitment practice, no orientation, give a mask and a gun to an inexperienced ICE agent and put him on the streets
I think
of America.
there's a lot there. I know a number of ICE agents who have a lot of experience, a lot of training. But the point on the optics is one that's important. That's something that the voters are going to end up deciding. I'm not going to go through everybody's name again. Congressman, Congresswoman, thank you all very much. Great panel. You're welcome back.